Hi friends, attorney Marina Shepelsky. I'm an immigration attorney in New York and New Jersey for 20 years, but we actually work with clients all over the United States and cover all the 50 states. So welcome if you have any issues and you live somewhere else. We just got somebody green cards this week who live in other states like California, Chicago, Illinois. But for today, since I'm always doing this kind of work, I'm always keeping my eye out for changes and news in immigration law. And today's video is about the latest good news in immigration law, because I love good news. I'm sure you do too. And let's start right now. Before we do though, for 1 second, like us and follow us. Okay, let's get right into it. So today I'm summarizing it. Number one was the update from USCIS that they will no longer request biometrics appointments for certain applicants, and if they have your fingerprints from anything recent that you filed. For example, maybe you're filing for citizenship now, but you recently got your 10-year green card or work permit. They can reuse those biometrics and they can just update it in their system, and you don't need to go for a new appointment. They'll just click a button on their end and update your fingerprints, and won't have to make you take a day off from work and go do your fingerprints and biometrics all over again.
There's relief.
Also, recently, Supreme Court made a major decision, major ruling, that if you have an old notice to appear, in other words, if you have an old letter to come to immigration court, if you had an immigration case that started years ago or even recently, and it didn't initially have on the notice to appear your first court hearing date, exact time and date, they only mailed it to you later, you can reopen your case and close out your case because the Supreme Court decided it wasn't enough notice to the person who's being in the process of being deported, of what is the kind of case they have to deal with, because there's no date or time or place set on it. So they found that the notice requirements weren't followed for certain cases. So if you have an old deportation case, it's worth a look. Give us a call. We can get your whole archive copy called FOIA from the government, not from you, but from the government, and we can take a look, and maybe there's a way to close out, completely cancel your deportation case and get you a green card in some other way.
I think it's worth trying.
Listen to me.
News this week, and the biggest news this week is that USCIS decided to follow the U.S. Center for Disease guidelines, Dr. Fauci, and visitors to USCIS offices, like when you go do the biometrics, or when you have an interview, or asylum interview, or marriage interview, or a naturalization citizenship interview, you no longer have to wear the mask if you are fully vaccinated. If you have proof that you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask at USCIS facilities. And this is a new thing that just started May 27, 2021. The other great piece of news is that President Joe Biden nominated an immigrant, a daughter of two immigrants actually, to become the new head of USCIS. Hallelujah! I am singing songs of joy, because we now have an immigrant who is going to head Department of Homeland Security and a woman immigrant to head USCIS. Her name is Jaddou. She's a daughter of Mexican and Iraqi immigrants. What a combination, only in America. I love it. A woman, she's married, has two young daughters, a lot of experience in immigration policy, law, and administration. She had her nomination hearing with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee this week. She said she's going to do two things, which are the major complaints that everybody has been complaining about. Number one, and I'm going to sing a song, get rid of the backlogs. No more backlogs. She's going to fix those crazy waiting times.
No more.
At least she's going to work on it. At least she recognizes that it's a problem, okay? She recognizes that the crazy visa backlogs and interview backlogs and asylum case backlogs and immigration court backlogs are a huge, huge problem for millions of people, not just immigration nerds like myself, but for people who are really, really not seeing USCIS as the agency that it was created to be. It is the only agency that is completely self-supported. In other words, it is the only agency that the taxpayers give not a dollar to. It is completely supported by the USCIS application fees. The people applying for green cards are paying for the agency. So she's going to take those visa backlogs and fix them. She's going to bring USCIS back to being a customer-centered agency in the service of others, in the service of the immigrants it's serving. The other problem she said she was going to fix is she was going to bring USCIS to be a financially solvent agency, meaning it's going to cover its own expenses. It's not going to be in debt anymore, because there was a big problem with funding that asked the US Congress for $1 billion last summer to help them get out of debt. In other words, they didn't have enough money to pay employees, to use all the latest technology, and so on. And she says that I'm quoting, she says that her most immediate responsibilities, if confirmed, will be to return USCIS to solvency, resolve dramatically increasing processing times and backlogs, and utilize 21st century tools in the work of USCIS, according to her.
God bless.
The next good news is that as of May 28th, USCIS updated its guidance and will allow citizenship on an expedited, on a fast basis for people who are veterans, who served in the US military. If they're in active service or if they were honorably discharged, they will now be able to do their citizenship by video. It will be a quick process, and this is welcome news. And the next thing that I want to talk about is that USCIS announced that just today, that happened on June 2nd, the day I'm making this video, that they're now going to be accepting credit card payments for green cards only for U visa applicants. So that's going to be something new they're trying out. And the final thing I wanted to discuss, and again, this is huge news, is they added a new country to temporary protected status, TPS, and that is Burma. So as of May 24th, Burma has been designated by Department of Homeland Security as a country where people can apply for temporary protected status. I will end today's good news on a positive note that I see that President Biden and his administration are really trying to work with immigrants and to improve things for immigrants. There's still no news about the amnesty law that everybody is expecting, called the 2021 Pathway to Citizenship for certain people. We're waiting to see what happens, but there's a new head of Department of Homeland Security, Mr. Mayorkas, who is a Cuban immigrant and definitely will be interested in helping immigrants. And looks like we'll be having a new immigrant lady as the head of USCIS. Her name is Jaddou. I just talked about her. She's also very much focused on fixing the backlogs and the long processing times, making a financially stable agency, and improving things for immigrants. Stay tuned for more immigration news. You can give us a call at the office if you have an immigration case you need help with. We practice everything pretty much in immigration, from family visas, asylum, abuse cases, marriage petitions, marriage green cards, to work visas and appeals if you've had a denial, if you came here with another person's visa, if you had prior mistakes in your case, we can probably help. Give us a call. Our phone number is 718-769-6352. We work in New York and New Jersey, but cover all the 50 states. Bye and have a good day.